Hey, what's going on, guys, and welcome back to another episode in my Football Manager series. This is episode number 21, and today we've got a game against Manchester United and also the back end of transfer deadline day, as something pretty disastrous is about to happen. Now, of course, I did say I was going to play through it, play United and Spurs on camera, but instead, this is just too important, and you guys need to see live what's going on, because there's going to be some big changes to the club on deadline day, which could make or break our aims of qualifying for Europe. Just briefly though, 3 games off camera against Southampton, Sheffield Wednesday and Watford. We drew a goalless draw with Southampton at Liberty Stadium, then we brushed aside Sheffield Wednesday by 2-0. Sam Redmond scored his first goal for the club, that was pretty cool to see. And also we beat Watford by 2-0 in the Premier League as well, which means right now in the table, we are currently sitting in 6th place. We are only behind Arsenal in 5th on goal difference. We are 1 point clear of Liverpool, who are in 7th. And also as well, we are only 2 points behind Manchester United, who are in 4th place. So I'm looking for Europa League next season, but Champions League, it's a possibility, but maybe for not much longer, as we're about to lose our best player. No. Yes, for the most part, transfer deadline day had been pretty quiet at Liberty Stadium. We'd loaned out a couple of players, but now, as you can see, we are about to lose Julian Brandt, our best player in this side, who we signed last season in the January transfer window for £3.3 million, is on his way to the Bernabeu for £44 million. And of course, we have no control over this because, just like with Craneviter in the last episode, Brandt has that as his release clause. So Brandt is going to go to Real Madrid, and I'm absolutely gutted. He is our best player by some distance, and he is unbelievable, and he's key. He's been key to our chances of qualifying for Europe, I feel. So to lose Julian Brandt is just absolutely devastating. I don't know how we'll be able to replace him, and I'm gutted because, just like with Craneviter, we make a really awesome profit on the guy, but his value to the club is more than can be put into a transfer fee. I mean, he's just so important, and only 21 years old as well. So Brandt is going to go gutted about that. And it was really funny as well because Real Madrid just sold Marco Reus to Arsenal at the start of deadline day for like £15 million, and I was like, it's a big player to lose for such a cheap fee. I wonder who they'll replace him with. Oh, it's Julian Brandt. That's my player. Damn. So yeah, Brandt is going to go, and I'm gutted about that. But we are going to make a new signing, and that is Gabby Barbosa from Spurs. Now, I was doing this deal with no knowledge that Real Madrid were going to come in for Julian Brandt. This is literally on the same advance. So we find out Barbosa's agreed to sign for us, and then we find out Brandt's going. So it's like, I'm partly happy and I'm partly devastated. So yeah, Gabby Barbosa is going to come in. It's a £25 million deal, £10 million up front, £15 million over 48 months, and then there's a clause where if he scores 50 goals for us, I think it is, we'll give Spurs an extra £5 million. That will take it to £30 million, and he's just an awesome player on FM, Gabby Barbosa. I'm sure you've heard of the guy before if you played FM. Even on FIFA, I think he's really good as well, if I'm thinking of the same guy. But yeah, some really good stats. And I guess, like Brandt, he can play down the right-hand side, but mainly he'll be looking to compete with Callum Wilson for the first team striker role. But he looks very decent, mentally not too bad, physically pretty decent, and technically as well, he's got the stats in the right areas. So Barbosa will come in, Brandt will leave, and it's a bit of a mixed feeling right now. It's like, yes, we're getting a really good player, but we're also losing our best player. And so here we are then, on the very next advance, we snap up Gabby Barbosa to the Liberty Stadium, and we also see Julian Brandt has gone to Real Madrid for £44 million. So it's gutting, man. Like, he wanted to leave the club at the start of the season, he wanted to go somewhere bigger, and I was so desperate to keep hold of the guy, but he would not listen to any kind of contract talks whatsoever. He wanted to leave, he had his mind made up, he was always going to leave at some point. It was either going to be this transfer window, or the next summer transfer window, or the next January transfer window, or when his contract ran down. He was never going to stay at the club past his contract because he's just too much better. He's just way better than Swansea. So yeah, Brandt has gone to Real Madrid. I'm gutted about it, I really am. And yes, of course, just like with Craneviter, we make a massive profit on the guy of around £41 million. It's £40.7 million, I think, in total. How's my maths? Let me know in the comment section down below. But yeah, it's just his worth to the team. I mean, he's just been consistently brilliant ever since he came in. But anyway, Brandt has gone. Gabby Barbosa is in. Will we replace Julian Brandt before the end of the deadline day in 2 hours? Probably not, and that's what hurts us the most. We don't even have time to sign a replacement for our best player. Okay, so our replacement has actually been signed a lot quicker than I was expecting. Pione Sisto is going to come in then, the Leicester midfielder that, of course, formerly played for that team that played against Manchester United in the Europa League. Looks pretty decent, I must admit. 22-year-old midfielder. He's been okay since signing for Leicester. Not too bad this season. 22 games, 2 goals and 2 assists. Average rating of 6.91. He's got some pretty decent stats, I must say. Technically looks pretty decent. Physically, very, very quick indeed. And I think he's pretty decent. I think he's pretty decent. So he'll replace Julian Brandt. Will he be as good? Obviously not, and I can already tell that. But I think as a replacement for around £21 million, it's £15 million in total, and clauses could go to £21 million. I think it's worth a gamble. You know, I think this is probably the best player we could sign to replace Julian Brandt for this amount of money. So Sisto is going to come in. Still gutted to see Brandt leave, but at least our replacement has been signed before deadline day ended. And that will do it then. Transfer deadline day has ended in Football Manager World, and we managed to complete our signing of Sisto and also Barbosa as well. Pretty crazy how 2 of the major transfers in this window for the Barclays Premier League both came from us. You know, Brandt going to Real Madrid and Kranevitter going to Paris Saint-Germain. So absolutely gutted to lose 2 of our most important players for a combined total of £74 million. But I must say, you know, I'm pretty pleased with the way we've responded. You know, bringing in Sami Khedira, an experienced midfielder that's been around the block, knows the game inside and out. Bringing in Sisto on deadline day, a replacement for Julian Brandt, and also bringing in Gabby Barbosa, don't forget as well, to provide competition for Callum Wilson. I think we actually responded quite well despite the 2 major sales and major departures. So it is sad. It is sad to lose 2 of our best players, but I'm looking at our squad right now and I don't believe it's got significantly weaker. You know, I really don't feel that. Yes, of course, those 2 departures will hurt us, but I look at the likes of the players we brought in, Khedira, Sisto, and also Gabby Barbosa. They're not bad replacements, and I think this side is just as good as the one we had a few days ago. So yeah, I'm totally fine with the score as it is right now, and of course losing those players hurts, but I think we'll be alright. And I cannot believe in total we spent £84.6 million on new players. Season 3 has been wild, but look at the departures. £93.6 million raised, of course mainly through Brandt and also Kranevitter, but either way, that's pretty crazy for Swansea to be approaching £100 million raised in transfer fees. But it's all changed at Liberty Stadium. The question is, will these players be worth the money? Let's find out. And I guess one of our biggest signings is a player we already have signing a new contract. Callum Wilson has agreed a new deal here, 60 grand a week until 2022. That's a 4-year deal then. Looks pretty decent, and the best thing about this is that of course Manchester United have been lurking and looking at him, and we have said, well, now there's no minimum fee release clause for you. So you guys know I like to put on these clauses, but there's none now for Callum Wilson. So yeah, Wilson looks like he's going to stay at Swansea and compete with Barbosa. That's really good. Mourinho concerned spending could spiral out of control. Journalist Neil Porter asked, what do you think about Swansea breaking their club transfer record to sign Gabriel Barbosa? Mourinho gave cause for potential controversy with his reply, saying, I think we should all be worried about the potential long-term damage these types of deals will have on the game in this country. I mean, I don't know what to say, Jose. I really don't know what to say. You're always attacking me. I haven't said a single bad word to you, and you're just attacking me left, right and centre. Focus on your team, I'll focus on mine, alright? He just doesn't like me, Jose. You know, he really doesn't. I don't know what it is about him and what it is about me, but for some strange reason, he's always trying to get one over me. What's the problem? Do you have any comments in response to Jose Mourinho's recent claims that deals like the one you recently completed for Gabriel Barbosa are financially irresponsible? I think Jose is jealous of our ability to actually conclude some good business. I think he is, because he couldn't get Callum Wilson, could he? Yeah, Jose, don't like it, do ya? Jose Mourinho openly questioned your managerial methods after the last match between the 2 of you. Have his comments had any effect on how you prepare for matches at all, particularly the upcoming one against his side? Jose Mourinho had no right to question my style or ability, and I've been looking forward to this chance to beat him and prove that I'm the better of the 2 of us. I mean, that's a bold statement, but let's big this game up. Mourinho amused by JC's dislike. Ahead of Manchester United's match against Swansea City in the English Premier Division, Jose Mourinho spoke to the media about his thoughts on the fixture. JC has been speaking about your comments after the last encounter between your 2 sides. Do you think you've got under his skin a bit? Mourinho gave cause for potential controversy with his reply, not for the first time, by saying, it looks a bit like it, doesn't it? I had long since forgotten about what I'd said after the last match, but whatever it was has obviously upset Jay, hasn't it? Well, that's it, Jose. If you want a scuffle on the touchline, son, you've got one. I don't think I can actually do that though. I think that's a new feature for FM17, adding it in for next year. Okay, so here we go then. It's time for the first and probably only game of today's episode as we face Manchester United in a big clash in the hunt for a European place come the end of the season. This is the team I'm picking, sticking with the 4-4-1-1. Timo Horn starts in goal, back for Ben Davies on the left, Mallow on the right, and Williams and Marlon are the centre-back partnership. Further forward in the midfield, 4 Ayu's on the left, and Sisto makes his debut on the right-hand side. Ki Sung-young and Sergio Roberto are the central midfield partnership. Gylfi Sigurdsson is our attacking midfielder, and Callum Wilson is our lone striker. On the bench we have Berisha, Brooks, Trippier, Khedira, Lingard, Barbosa, who could make his debut from the bench, and also Wilfried Bony as well. So a big game. Can we come through with the 3 points and shut Mourinho up? Let's hope so. This is probably one of the biggest games of the season. It's so key to our hopes of qualifying for Europe next season, and a win for us would be absolutely huge. And I'm not overly confident, but it'll be so big if we can get one. And the first highlight comes to us with Ayew finding Sigurdsson, the pair player 1-2, before Ayew releases Ben Davies down left-hand side, crosses, Wilson scores and puts it in. Swansea 1, Manchester United 0. How'd you like it, Jose? Callum Wilson, the guy you wanted to sign, scores against you directly after signing a new contract. Doesn't that feel good? Ayew releases Ben Davies down the left-hand side, swings it across to the centre. Callum Wilson gets on the end of it and puts it into the bottom corner. 1-0 to Swansea. Fantastic stuff. You ain't got under my skin, Jose. You ain't got under my skin at all. I've got under your skin, mate. Drawing you into those kind of responses. I know what I'm doing. There's going to be a managerial rivalry between me and Jose throughout this series. I can just feel it. But right now, we've got the advantage. Going up to 4th place if we can see out this second half. What a result it will be. But the first highlight after the second half begins comes to Manchester United, and Gonzalo Higuain should have made it 1-1 but couldn't hit the target. Big let off there. Free kick to United. Mata floats it into the centre. Ashley Williams gets it away. But another chance for the away side here. Chris Smalling on the ball. Rolls it through towards Higuain. Marlon gets it away. Still a chance though. Schweinsteiger pings one out wide towards the right back here. Crosses to the far post. Andre Gomez makes it 1-1. And with 14 minutes to go, Manchester United grab themselves the equalising goal. Gutted. Schweinsteiger plays it down the right hand side. The cross comes in, and unfortunately at the far post, Andre Gomez peels off his man and heads the ball past Timo Horn. This would have been such a big win, but unfortunately, United could take momentum and possibly go on to win all 3 points. But that will do it. Final score, Swansea 1, Manchester United 1. No more goals then, and the game does finish as a score draw. So I don't really know why Shaun O'Driscoll is being a little bit harsh there. I don't think that's a bad result against Manchester United, and I thought we were quite unlucky. You know, we played okay, just didn't take any more chances than the 1 goal we scored. So final score 1-1, had more possession. United had more shots though. I think the draw probably was the fair result, however, but it does mean that with 12 games to go, we stay in 7th place. Arsenal have a game in hand as well, and although we are 3 points clear of Everton in 8th place right now and still not out of the top 4 race, any chance of qualifying in the Champions League, I think, hinged on that result right there. So a draw is the final score, 1-1, and we'll take it. It's not a terrible result, we'll take it. And that will end today's episode in my Football Manager series as well, guys. So a big thank you for watching. I really hope you have enjoyed it. I shall return with games against West Bromwich Albion and West Ham as well, where at that stage, hopefully, we'll still be in the top 7 and could still potentially be on a mission to qualify for the Champions League for next season. But that will end today's episode regardless, so thank you for watching. Please leave a like if you have enjoyed today's episode. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I'll see you for the next episode in my Football Manager series very soon.